What's up, everybody? What's up? Hey, freak out and stuff. We're doing an episode on, actually, let's just start this episode more properly. This is episode number 17 of the Casual Observers.
17?
I thought so.
Whoa.
It was 16 last time, right? Yeah, we've been doing this for 2 whole weeks.
Wow.
So yeah, this is... I'm your host, Jacob. I'm wearing an X-Toll shirt. You should check out X-Toll. They're pretty cool.
I'm Josiah. I'm wearing a Batman shirt. You should check out Batman. He's pretty cool.
Alright. Good episode. See you later. So today we're going to be talking about the importance of social interaction.
Oh.
We were deciding the topic before the episode, so I had to pause there, and he didn't actually know which topic we had settled on, I don't think. So the suspense, I'm sure, was killing him.
Yeah.
But he was preparing with his joint over there.
Oh, yeah.
And so we're going to be doing...
The smoke doesn't show up on camera, so...
Dude, that bothers me. Can you not do it right in my face?
Sorry, I'll do it out the window.
Good thing that window's open.
Yeah.
So why are we doing the episode on social interaction? Because it's a cool concept, and...
Because Easter was just happened.
What does that have to do with Easter?
Well, you get together with people on Easter and you have social...
Well, you get together with your family and stuff.
Yeah, so it's so relevant.
Well, let's hop into that then. Let's talk about family interaction. Alright?
Okay.
Alright. How important is specifically family interaction? Like, why is it important to us?
I would say... Probably because that's where you learn everything. That's the people that you learn everything from, mostly.
That's
usually.
not true. I think I would say that your education came from school mostly.
I'm talking about like your personality traits.
Right.
Those come mostly from your family.
But you develop away from them eventually.
Yeah, but it's like within the context of what you already know. You know what I mean?
You can go pretty far out there.
Yeah, you can, but most kids take on a lot of traits of their parents, so.
Yeah, and then when you
The
get
vast
to like
majority.
college age and stuff is when kids are like, wait a second, maybe I can be different, and they change themselves and they figure out who they actually are. Or that's the stereotype, at least.
Yeah, I mean, but you still see the world through the eyes of whatever you were told when you were extremely young. You know what I mean?
Do you?
That's always going to be with you.
I guess, but...
Even if you said, oh, I'm going to do this other thing, like, you still have that in your head.
Okay,
Like,
but...
you can't unknow that.
Okay, but those things, knowing that those things are in your head and stuff, is that enough justification to be forced to have social interaction with a family?
What? No? I'm just saying.
Then why is it important then?
Oh, I mean, if you're talking about why you should have to socialize with your family, there's no specific reason why. I mean, like, if you're adopted, those people aren't your family technically. Unless you want to talk about that.
Not that it even matters if you're adopted though. Like, what is keeping, like, why is it important to gather together with these people who could potentially be nothing like you and have nothing in common with you, except for the fact that you have similar DNA and from the same bloodline?
Well, I think it's not important that you don't need to, obviously. It's just a societal norm because those people are more... your family are most likely to be the most ideologically similar to you.
Okay.
I'm just talking about statistically, I'm not saying you specifically or anybody.
Yeah, right.
Individuals may vary, but I'm just saying statistically that's where this convention comes from.
I guess so. That seems legit. But, dang it, I had a thought. Where did it go? Give me a second. Just say I entertain them while I think.
Okay. My brother, okay, check this out. Okay, hold on. Let me try and remember this. I heard a really good joke earlier today.
This is not helping me remember. I just want to know what joke you're gonna tell.
Oh, okay.
No, tell the joke.
Okay. Apparently, I read my brother's diary the other day, and he apparently thinks that I have a boundary issues. Hey, get it?
You saw that on Reddit.
Okay, you
okay.
get it? You get the joke?
I get it.
Okay.
I get it. It was funnier when you said you read your brother's diary, and me personally knowing your brothers made that funnier. But.
Well, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I had to finish it off for the audience.
That's true. You should have just told like an actual story.
All right, what was that amazing thought that you lost?
Okay. So, it's not important to socialize with them because of the blood, but you're saying because of their ideals, statistically speaking, are probably most similar to yours? But couldn't... But,
no, I
got the thought. Okay.
I'm not saying that that's what makes it important. I'm just saying that's where the convention comes from.
Right. But I was thinking, maybe it's more like...
I don't think there is a solid reason why it's important to.
Not anymore. But I think it probably comes from our past where we were like in the wilds and stuff, where we would have stuck together as like as a unit and stuff to
like a tribe.
Yeah, to be stronger and stuff, and we would stick together even if we didn't like the people around because like our chances of survival are better, right? And so there's like a the Modern Family, not the TV show. The Modern Family could be considered like little tribes in itself of like, like you see on those game shows with TVs like Family Feud or something, they always take pride in their family.
I've seen Family Feud.
I have too.
They take pride in their family?
They take pride in their family as like a tribal thing. And so I was thinking maybe that's where the
Unless Family Feud only picks the families that are tribe-like.
Whoa. Oh. Alright, throw that idea out the window. Family Feud is not a good example.
So what are you saying? That's where the convention comes from?
Yeah, I was thinking maybe that's where the convention comes from, but I still don't
tribes?
think... It's possible.
Like hunter-gatherers?
Sure. Yeah, sure.
That makes a lot of sense.
That's what I was thinking. But in modern society, it's not really that relevant to... I mean, because... We always see those like those movies and stuff where people are like, oh, I can't spend Christmas with my family or whatever, and it's like a big like sad disaster or whatever. It's like, oh, my family loves me or whatever. But really, it's like, well, technically I could spend it with people who I have more in common with anyways.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would have a better time anyways. That's why families fight at Thanksgiving and Christmas and stuff.
Why? Oh, because
they don't actually have much in common.
Oh, so you're saying maybe you should spend holidays with people that are more similar to you?
Maybe.
How should we group ourselves? Maybe like by musical genre tastes?
Oh, for sure. No.
That's what I'm thinking.
No.
Like on Christmas you just go
basically what you're asking is how do you find friends? Do you find friends based on musical genre taste? That's what you're asking me.
No.
There's so many factors that contribute to that, right?
Well, maybe there's less than you'd think, because maybe similar tastes are more across the board than you'd think. They're not as individual.
What do you mean?
Like
an example, please.
Like, let's say you like the same music as somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Statistically speaking, maybe you're more likely to like the same movies that person likes.
Maybe. But
inadvertently, maybe you like the same color socks.
Black, obviously.
Maybe you
why would you ever wear white socks?
I don't know. People have for hundreds
Probably
of years.
To find them when you get them out of a dryer, because finding black socks in your wardrobe of all black clothes is impossible.
Your wardrobe of all black clothes, maybe?
Yeah.
All those metal t-shirts.
It's all metal shirts and black cargo pants.
And Crocs, black Crocs.
Yeah, my Crocs go in the laundry with the rest of my clothes.
When do you wash those?
I mean, like, never, but I don't wear them that often either.
But you wear them barefoot, so you gotta wash them.
I guess I do. Do they stink? Do my Crocs stink, guys?
Probably.
Probably.
Why wouldn't they? You're wearing them. You're wearing putting your bare feet in there.
That's true. I should probably wash my Crocs.
Maybe you should hose them down or something.
Maybe.
Pressure wash them.
I'll do that tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay.
Maybe then your family won't hang out with you. Maybe that's the problem.
No, but what you were saying with the, like, that could be true, could not be. But there's so many different factors when it comes to finding friends. Like, something that I've found is sense of humor seems to be very important. You wouldn't think it is, but it seems to be very important because if I'm, like, I could...
What are you saying?
Like, I could...
The funnier you are, the better...
No, people have different senses of humor. You know, some people like me like really dry humor or something, and other people like different humor.
Okay.
And I find that...
you gotta have similar tastes in comedy?
Well, not like comedy acts. Like, we can't, like, sit down and watch Seinfeld.
How do you feel about Seinfeld?
I like Seinfeld.
Okay, what about that new Seinfeld show, Mulaney?
I haven't even heard of that.
Oh, really? It's like exactly like Seinfeld.
Is it?
Like, this guy's the next Seinfeld. And at the beginning of the show, he's like doing a stand-up set.
Really?
Yeah.
I've heard a lot of people compare Sunny to Seinfeld.
Sunny who?
It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Which one? No,
they compare the whole show to, like, the Seinfeld
Oh,
show.
you know, the stories in there are similar, but the humor, I think, is a lot different, though.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like them both, though, which is weird, I guess.
Yeah, me too. That's why we're friends.
Maybe. And see, this is what I was going to get at. Like, I know people who, like, could have the same taste in music as me and stuff, but if they have the type of humor where they, like, oh, let me show you this funny thing I saw on the internet, I'm done. That's, like, you are instantly not my friend anymore. Because we're not going to have the same type of humor, and you just, like, you're going to expect...
you instantly shun anybody who tries to show you things on the internet?
I instantly think down of them, first of all. But if they show it to me, we're in this awkward social situation where you're going to whip something up on your phone, aren't you? But where they're like, look at this funny thing I saw today, and it's like, great. Do I laugh at this to make them feel good, or do I just sit here and be like, that's not funny, so they never do it again, right? Like, people need to understand that the senses of humor is very important.
Well, just
and you don't want to, like, you don't want to conflict that boundary. What are you gonna show me?
Dude, hey, check out this funny joke I heard on the internet today. It's called, "Crazy ex-girlfriends are like a box of chocolates. They'll kill your dog."
That's actually pretty good. See, you're fake laughing, but I'm actually laughing. I thought that joke was pretty good. So see the problem here? So you brought up, why do we even have friends? And that was a stupid question, I think. I mean, you find your friends...
I didn't... You extrapolated that from a point that I was making about family.
No, yeah. I said we should, maybe family situations should be, you should have holidays and stuff with people who are more similar to you, people you enjoy being around who aren't just related to you by blood. And you said, so how would we separate them?
Yeah,
and
by
you said,
music.
Yeah, and so you're basically saying, how would you find your friends? And that's what I'm saying. You just naturally find friends, I think. Unless you're one of those people who doesn't have a friend right now, and I'll be your friend.
Yeah, just comment on this video.
Yeah, just comment on this video, or you can add me on Facebook instead, and no one has to know that you were lonely and didn't have a friend. They can just, that's private, so...
What if you get, like, a weird friend?
That's okay.
Oh, okay.
I'll be friends with them. I mean...
What if they try to show you things on the internet that you think
okay, if it's one of those people who, like, messages me every single day and then tries to show me funny things on the internet, I'm gonna be like, there's a reason you're friendless, alright?
Look at this squirrel. Look at him get these nuts.
I was thinking, you said look at the squirrel, I was thinking that squirrel that had, like, the zombie mask on him that goes around every Halloween. You know what I'm talking about?
Are you gonna show me?
No, I'm not.
Thank God.
Saved yourself on that one.
Yeah.
All right, so
you know whether to fake laugh or to.
So how do you find friends? No. Okay. So let's talk about the actual importance of social. Like that was a good lead into it. I like that. That was good. I don't know how you're supposed to find friends, but here's a question for you.
Probably like a WikiHow on it.
An e-how, dude.
E-how. I like WikiHow. Seems like they're better at it.
That's because Wiki is,
Actually,
has a more reputable brand.
I'd probably just go to whichever one comes up first in the
Yeah, I do too.
listing.
Yeah. So, let me ask you this, though.
Okay.
Not how do you find friends, but how important are friends?
I would say pretty important.
Why?
See, it's hard to qualify that, but just random stuff. Like, it's just all kinds of random stuff that you need friends for. Mm-hmm. Moving. Let's say you need a logo for your podcast.
Okay.
Let's say you need to do a podcast because you're bored on Monday nights.
Okay. I'm not bored. We're doing this to be successful.
Okay, yes, it's true. I agree with you.
Okay. I could be doing other things. I got other things to do.
Well, it's fun.
It is fun. This is true.
To a certain extent, when you've got good stuff to talk about.
I think this is a good topic, just I didn't like this topic. Anyways, continue.
Did I already say moving?
Yeah.
Okay, I got 3 things right there.
Those are really terrible examples.
Moving. Podcast logos.
Okay.
Podcast
moving
shows.
is a money thing. If you had unlimited money, you wouldn't need friends to do it. You could just hire someone. Friend to get a logo for a podcast, same thing. If you had unlimited money, you could just do that. You wouldn't need friends. You're replacing friends with money.
But nobody has unlimited money. That's what I'm saying.
Well, Bill Gates, basically.
No, he doesn't. He's got a finite amount of money.
Yeah, but he's got a very large amount.
You know how he got there? By not spending every dime that he had.
Right.
So
you're saying that the reason to have friends is to save money?
No, I'm just saying it's one of the benefits.
Okay, but it's a benefit, but you don't need it.
Okay, you can get different opinions. Yeah, you don't need it.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I'm just saying.
That's what I'm saying. Do you need friendship? Do you need friends? How important is it? How important are those benefits?
Oh, they're very important.
Moving is very important?
Yeah.
You can move by yourself. Be a lot of work, but you could.
Yeah, so how much more convenient is that?
It's more convenient, but how, important
It's very
is
important.
It? I don't think it's that important.
It would take you days to do something like that on your own.
That's not that bad. Get a workout while you're doing it, and...
You might not even be able to physically take those days off. And then you got to set everything up.
Well, physically you could, not.
You may not even be able to physically... No, it's like, let's say you need to lift a couch.
Mm-hmm.
You might not necessarily be able to do that on your own.
So you hire someone to help you out.
But let's
Two people
I don't
isn't
have
enough
the
to
money.
do anything.
I don't have the money.
Okay,
I
so
can use my
again,
friends.
we're replacing money for friends.
Yeah, I'm just... These are just benefits, yes.
So
if you had a lot of money...
You could theoretically live life without any social interaction and be perfectly healthy?
Mentally healthy? I don't know about that. I don't know about the effects of that. But what I am saying is that there are a lot of benefits to having friends. Yeah. That are important.
There are benefits, but it's not necessary, and I don't think they're that
No, it's not
important.
necessary. Of course it's not necessary.
Okay.
You need 4 things. You need food, shelter, water. What's the other one? Air. Okay. Is that
You do need air.
Yes, okay. That's the only thing you absolutely need, okay?
Yeah.
But if we're just talking about importance, where do they fall on the importance level? That's pretty important. Okay, here's another... There's lots of other things besides just moving. I don't know how we got stuck on that.
You got stuck on it.
No, you were like, oh, money can replace... Okay.
You said moving, and then you said, did I already say moving?
Okay, fashion...
We recorded this.
Fashion opinions.
I don't take fashion opinions. Everyone knows that I dress terribly. You don't give me any fashion advice.
But that's just... Well, you never asked. But that's just what I'm saying. It's like, sure, you could hire someone to give you fashion tips. Or
you can go on the internet.
Or you could just ask a friend.
Go on the internet.
Yeah.
Those people aren't your friends.
No.
And it's not that important because
you
don't need to look good unless you need social interaction. The only reason to look good is to improve your social interaction.
You could just want to look good for yourself.
Yeah, but if you're just looking good for yourself, that's 100% just your own opinion.
No, you could want other people to think you look good too.
You would want other people to think you look good, and that's interacting with other people. Not like
necessarily.
not speaking to them or walking with them or touching them physically, but is interacting with them in the sense that you're caring about their opinion. Their opinion is affecting you. It's interacting with your mind and how you live your daily life.
Yeah, but unless you ask them their opinion about your clothes, you won't know if they like it or not.
Right, so you just ask someone on the internet.
If they like your clothes?
r/male fashion advice.
Okay.
That's a subreddit.
Yeah, you could do that. Maybe you get some, but
People do that all the time.
If you had a friend, they would live near you.
Mm-hmm.
They would probably know people that you know.
Mm-hmm.
Run in the same social circles more than likely.
Mm-hmm.
And so they'd be better suited to give you advice about you.
Yeah, but you don't need advice about you.
No, we've already established that you don't need anything.
If you
you don't need friends, exactly.
Okay. If you don't
so
have
that's
the
not
friends,
a valid argument.
Okay,
anymore.
But how important is it to
pretty important
to dress good, to dress well?
No, that's just another added benefit. I'm up to like 6 now.
Right, but these are all benefits that are relevant to you, not necessarily to me. Give me an example that's relevant to me.
Okay, let's say you want to start a band.
Okay.
You need friends, more than likely.
I can do it myself.
Yeah, but it'd be better with friends.
It'd be quicker with friends, for sure. Not necessarily better.
Probably better.
It's debatable. What if your friends aren't that technically capable of playing the music you would like to play?
That is a possibility, but statistically, you'd be better off.
That's still debatable. People have released solo albums that are fantastic. Without friends.
Yeah, but statistically, are there more solo albums that are good, or more ensemble albums that are good?
Well, that's not a very good argument. That's just saying that because there's
I'm just saying if you want to play the odds.
For the ratio, we would have to take the ratio of it. How many, what percent of solo albums are good compared to the whole solo albums and group to whole group? You know,
right,
it'd be a percentage. It's not an actual number.
Right. I'm just saying, what do you think is the higher percentage? Probably the ensembles, right? So if you want to play the odds, then you're probably looking at that.
I don't know. I can think of 3 really good solo artists off the top of my head right now.
Okay, out of how many that you know of?
I mean, not that many, apparently.
That's what I'm saying. Statistically, you're more likely to be successful if you're in a band.
Well, that's because you have more people working.
Yeah.
The trick to success to a band is having
7 benefits I'm up to now.
Okay.
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 That's relevant. Or one that's relevant to you.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, you can talk about how you can replace all these benefits with some sort of non-human, or not non-human, but non-friend relationship.
Mm-hmm.
But if that person's your friend, then it just makes it that much easier.
So social interaction is important to
it makes things
basically
easier.
do what you want to do in life easily.
More easy.
Okay. More easy. I don't think that's proper grammar. You need a friend to help you out on your grammar.
More ease. With greater ease.
With greater ease. That's good. Yeah. See, if I wasn't your friend, I couldn't have called you out on that, and you wouldn't have thought about using the term with greater ease instead.
Well, words are intended to convey ideas, so you knew what I meant. Therefore, it was the correct use of words.
That's all that mattered.
Yeah.
I will preach that idea till I die, that words are only important to convey ideas. But, I mean, I'll still be the jerk on the internet who's like, you forgot a comma, loser. But, you know.
Yeah, it's a there, not there.
And not the other there either.
Yeah. Yeah, how do you like that, eh?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So, yeah. I think we established why friends are important.
So, yeah.
They make things a lot easier.
So...
But if you don't want to have friends, don't have friends and just make things slightly harder for yourself or more inconvenient.
And that's fair.
Seems like you want to do that.
No, I'm arguing the other side here. But let me bring up this. Okay, so now that we've established that, the people who wouldn't necessarily want friends, right?
Who wouldn't want to make things easier for themselves?
Extreme introverts, because...
do they not want friends? I think they still want them. It's just hard.
No, hang on.
Okay.
You're saying it would be easier to get through life with friends, but as an introvert, you don't communicate with others very well or very often, and going out and doing things with other people would actually be difficult for you, and therefore it could technically make your life harder, and the benefits wouldn't be worth it.
Well, harder in the sense that like
Harder for you personally.
But you're talking about social. You're talking about just like avoiding like emotional stress of meeting people.
Mm-hmm.
If that stresses you out.
Right.
So.
And that's pretty relevant.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I guess if that could be at a point where that is it's not worth it to make friends, to try and make friends.
Yep.
I guess. Yeah, that's possible. It's possible.
It's a little more than possible. I think it happens like all the time. I think you as a extroverted person, you are very
no way. I'm
Dude,
totally. I hate talking to people I don't know.
Nigga, I mean, you're hosting a podcast with me right now. All right.
Yeah.
So
I'm behind.
Everyone hates.
I'm in front of a camera, not a person.
That's the misconception.
What?
See, extroverts think, oh, introverts just don't like talking to people they don't know, so I'm an introvert. No, for an introvert, it's like physically exhausting to be around other people, and you're constantly like thinking about social interactions and constantly worried about them and stuff. And you have to be at home alone like a certain amount of the time, otherwise you could like have a anxiety attack or something, if you have anxiety, for example.
I've heard the term introvert used a lot more loosely than that.
They used it incorrectly then.
Like, ooh, I'm an introvert, but you know, I go to school and go to work and talk to people.
But not the people who like go to work and talk to people and stuff. When they get home at the end of their work shift, they just want to be alone the whole time. They don't want anyone to text them, no one to call them. They don't want any messages on Facebook, nothing like that, because it's exhausting for them.
Okay, that's fine.
And so you're saying
as long as I can function, I guess.
So you're saying that you're an introvert, and I'm denying.
No. Yeah, you're saying an introvert is like more extremely adverse to social encounters. Than I am?
Yes. Yes,
okay.
Much more.
Okay, so I'm not as much of an extrovert as you think.
So
I guess maybe that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know. I think
everyone's a little bit in between. I would say that I used to be like
super introvert,
heavily introverted.
Remember
and
when
then
you wouldn't eat around people?
I still don't like eating around people, but I used to be like heavily introverted, and I've met some people who have like changed my perspective a little bit, and now I'm somewhere in between, just like most people are. But you know, I think everyone's a little somewhere in between. Most people, like,
what do? They force you to talk to people?
I think like probably like 75% of people are probably like extroverted.
How did you get cured?
How did I get cured?
Yeah.
I have no idea. It's cured. You're talking as if it's an illness. It's not an illness.
Well,
introverts are people too.
Sure, but as we talked about, there's lots of social. It's an evolutionary thing,
right?
To be social,
right?
So. Oh,
so you are saying that they are technically flawed?
Oh no, just in that respect.
Interesting.
No, I'm not saying they're flawed. I'm just saying that maybe they're outside of the bell curve.
Yeah. No, I like this. I like where this is going.
Well, you're saying
that they could be.
Well, you're saying you were and now you're not, so it's something that can change.
Well, I'm somewhere in between. But just as most people are. But on average, I think if there's a line here, I think the line is more like 25% introvert and like 75% extrovert. And there's some people, all around the line somewhere, but most people are on this side, whatever side this is for the camera, the left-hand side for the camera. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, everyone's somewhere in between. There's not obviously it's a spectrum. It's not just you are one or the other.
Right.
But saying that people who are more introverted are evolutionary flawed, I kind of like that idea because while they're not in today's society, it's much less relevant. Like, it's not that important to. I mean, obviously there's benefits, but you can live your life totally perfectly without friends or anything of being an introvert. Like a hardcore introvert, right? One who listens to, like, hardcore punk and stuff. Just kidding, you don't have to listen to hardcore punk to be a hardcore introvert. You can do whatever you want. You're probably not watching this podcast. No, actually, you probably are. Only introverts would sit down and watch this podcast because other people would be like, I'd rather go out partying.
Think anybody watches this, or maybe they just listen to it?
I don't know. If they're just listening to it, they miss out on a lot of good stuff like that right there. We don't have to. Yeah.
That yawn.
You shouldn't have told them what it was. They'll have no idea what it was that they missed. But that's true. Like, if back in the olden days in tribes and stuff, if people were like didn't like social interaction,
I don't think that was really an option.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, some people might have like left their tribe or something and tried to survive on their own, right? I'm sure there were.
That was probably pretty rare, but yeah, I'm sure it happened.
And so that's pretty interesting. So if you're introverted,
maybe it's a fairly new phenomenon. Like maybe it's like it's like a cult. There's like cultural pressure that causes the social anxiety, you know? Mm-hmm. Because people feel, you know, like that they need to meet some sort of standards, you know, to be accepted in these social settings. Mm-hmm. And they don't feel comfortable doing that, even though there is no actual rules, you know? Mm-hmm. But they feel like there is some sort of rules that they may not be able to fulfill, and that stresses them out.
But let me read this definition of introvert for you. Introverts are people who primarily look inward, paying close attention to their thoughts and emotions. It's not that they are incapable of paying attention to what is going on around them. It's just that their inner world is much more stimulating and rewarding to them. And that when I read that makes me think of people like
Rain Man.
Like the people, like if in olden days, like instead of people who were in battle or something, it could have been like the philosophers or like the shamans or something of their group, right? That's what I'm thinking.
That's a good point, actually.
Because they could still be with their group, obviously, because they would need to survive. But you could have people like, you know, all those famous philosophers who I can't think of a single name of.
Socrates.
There you go.
Yeah.
See, you can't think of them either. If there's any other time.
Aristotle.
Yeah, there you go.
Plato.
Aristotle's a good one. Yeah.
Sir Wincelot. Sir Mix-a-Lot.
What?
Famous philosopher.
Sure.
Lil Wayne. Ludacris.
Possibly me and you.
Modern day philosophers.
We're on a TV show, generally discussing philosophy.
This isn't a TV show.
Oh yeah, it's a
What's
YouTube
the internet
show.
Is a new TV. Oh, I like what you're saying there.
Yeah, I'm philosophizing about it. Yeah.
The internet is a new TV.
I'm making an artful statement that other people won't get, and they won't see the irony in it.
Iggy Azalea, modern day philosopher. On
booties.
Maybe that's her field of expertise.
She's an introvert. She just sat around like, man, booty.
Yeah, that's her quandary that's affixed her thinking.
That seems legit. She can't stand being around other people, but because she's so focused on booties, she can be around other booties. So if the other people have a booty, she can hang around with them.
P. Diddy.
Does his name stand for Philosopher Diddy?
Probably so. Wouldn't that be F. Diddy?
No.
April Fools.
April Fools. It's April 6th.
It's still April. So you admit it's April.
I admit it's April. Okay.
And I fooled you.
That's interesting. It could be an evolutionary flaw, or because it wouldn't be a recent development because those people definitely did exist in the past with philosophers, and I guess religion creators probably weren't like extroverted people.
L. Ron Hubbard.
You're saying a bunch of names I don't even know.
He created Scientology.
Oh, okay. Probably an introvert, or just like a... Nah, probably an introvert.
No, probably an extrovert.
Nah.
He went on TV a lot.
Yeah, but you can be an introvert and be on TV.
Can you? Oh,
yeah.
No, I don't know. Seems like you've got a pretty wide definition of introvert.
That's good. That's good. That sentence was really nailed it. Okay. So, yeah, the evolutionary thing, going beyond introverts and extroverts, we need social interaction to survive to where we are today. That's pretty widely accepted, right? Like, it's pretty widely accepted, from like people who have studied what's the science that studies like the human past?
Paleontology.
No, that's like dinosaurs.
Archaeology.
It's
Oh.
Remember Dr. Brennan from Bones? She was an anthropologist and something else, right?
Anthropology.
Is anthropology what it is?
They study ancient cultures.
Yeah, okay. And so, based on like all the study and stuff like that, in order to survive, one of the reasons that we survived was not just because of our intelligence, but because of our social interaction and because we were able to group together and realize that we were stronger together and stuff. So back then it was important, but now it's less important, which is why introverts get away with what they do, and having friends it could be very beneficial, but not necessarily that important in today's society where you're not scared about like a tiger eating you while you sleep or something. Unless you are and you're like in Africa or something, but you're probably not watching this if you're in Africa.
We are in Africa right now.
That's true. Haven't you seen his skin? He's actually African.
We're just visiting.
Oh. That's not true. We actually live here. He was born and raised here. I'm from South Africa, obviously. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So everything seems good. So introverts don't need friends, and friends are useless and pointless, right?
No. What? There's at least 7 benefits to having friends.
Okay, at least. Probably like 1 billion. But, so now let's move on. I think everything that needed to be said on friends and stuff was said. But, can we talk about...
Family.
Well...
I don't got friends.
We already talked about family.
I got family. I just watched Fast and Furious 7 and they say that like at least 7 times. Vin Diesel literally says that a lot.
Okay. So, how about social interaction in the sense of entertainment? How important is that? Like, okay.
How important is entertainment?
Not entertainment, but social interaction in entertainment. And what I mean by that is
if a lot of people say... in the entertainment industry.
No.
You're an actor. How important is having friends in the acting business?
Actually, that's very important.
Actor listeners, email in.
That's very important.
Tell us how important it is.
I'm actually an actor. I act on the show. This is not the real... Jacob Gladfelder is just a pseudonym. But what I mean by that is a lot of people will say high school or college or whatever is like the best times of your life, and other people will say no, it's the worst time of your life. And what's funny about this, the people who generally say, oh, it's the worst time of their life, were probably the people who were like introverted and stuff, right?
Yeah. And
the people who say it was the best time of their life were the extroverts who were like out partying and drinking and smoking pot and rolling up pieces of paper and acting like they were smoking pot on their podcasts and stuff. People who were, truly living, right? Those are the people. Those are the people.
Living it up.
So, how important do you think that kind of social interaction is? Like, like hanging out with friends or partying or something like that. How important is that? Like, if extroverts...
Even less important.
Even less important than what?
Than just having friends in general.
Oh,
well, I don't know. If you have friends, aren't you going to do things with them?
Not necessarily. Me and you don't really do anything. We just do this podcast.
Well, we're sort of in a band.
That's not talkable on a podcast right now.
Oh. Okay.
See?
This is pretty fun.
We
living it up, dude.
We just do this. We see each other at church and we just do this. This is all we do. Occasionally, like once every like 6 months, we'll go to a movie or something. But that's like once every 6 months. You go to a movie all the time. But if I'll join in like once every 6 months.
You want to go see Avengers?
Heck yes.
Really? You're excited about it?
I am very excited about it, except...
You haven't seen Iron Man 3?
No, I haven't seen Guardians, but...
You haven't seen Captain America 2?
I've seen all of them except Guardians.
Oh, congratulations. I'm caught up.
Except Guardians. But I don't want to go midnight release because people always shout and stuff, and I don't want to deal with that.
I'm not going at midnight.
Okay, good.
I'm going at like 7.
Even worse.
It's on a Thursday, I mean...
don't we have church on Thursday?
Nope.
That Thursday we don't?
No. He's literally canceling to go see it.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh, if he's going, then I don't want to join. Anyways, so how... But, okay, the people say that was, like, the best time of their life because of that. So, like, is it arguable... Shut up. Is it arguable that people are making a bad decision and poor choices if they do not do that? Like,
yes, you could argue that.
But is it a true statement though? Like, there's got to be some studies that have been done on this. Depends on what?
I don't know if they're actually making mistakes or not, I guess.
Well, obviously some of them are actually making mistakes. But
yeah, so then that is wrong for them.
But some of them on the other side are making mistakes too. The ones who go out partying and stuff could end up getting a girl pregnant, and then they ruin 2 people's lives. Potentially 3. Could ruin the kid's life too.
Okay.
Whereas an introverted person probably wouldn't be out doing that.
Okay. I agree.
So... Okay.
I don't understand what the question is. Can you repeat the question?
The question is, how important is entertaining
Not
social
very
interaction?
important.
Not very important?
No.
So, really, it's only important to have friends for your own benefit. So the reason to have friends is to...
Mutual benefit.
Mutual benefit, but not for entertainment's sake.
Yes, it's just not that important, that aspect of it.
That's a pretty good argument, actually. It's pretty solid.
Okay, thank you.
I mean,
know, I thought of it.
Whoa, someone's got an ego there. I mean...
Yeah, I do.
Let's get our friends in the comments to call you out on that. Because...
Call me out on having an ego?
Yeah. I was trying to make I was trying to make a joke there about us not having friends and not having viewers or something, but it didn't go quite as planned.
We don't have any friends or viewers.
That's true. You're not my friend and you're not my viewer. But so yeah, the social interaction. It could be argued. You got me, dude.
April Fools.
You got me good. It's not. It's April 6th.
It's so you admit that I got you in April.
Yeah, you got me.
So you've been fooled in April. April Fools.
You got me.
April fooled.
You got me, dude. You got me. I always do that when I'm like, you know, when you're at a red light and you're like checking your phone and then someone inches forward a little bit and so you inch forward and you look up and you're like, ah. I'm always like, that guy got me. Because I'm always imagining that they're actually like looking over and they're like, watch this, I'm going to get this guy, I'm going to make him go forward. And I'm like, dang it, they got me. So I try really hard not to do that, but that's a fun game I play with myself. You should play it yourself too.
Yeah, you should play with yourself too.
This is true. That's not social interaction. But you don't need to play with other people because entertaining social interaction is not that important. But maybe for the mutual benefits of friends, maybe you do need to, or maybe some people would feel obligated to like say, oh, I need to hang out with this person at least like once a month or something to maintain this mutually beneficial relationship, because otherwise the person might get offended or something, right? Because some people value friendships a lot more than others.
Yep.
Seems good. All right,
Totally true.
See you later. Okay, so there's not much else to add on that, I don't think. Okay, let's move on to the next part. How important is being polite in social interaction?
That's very important.
Is it?
Yeah. Because you'll never make any friends if you're not polite.
Is that true?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, think about in school, like bullies who are just like, insulting people all the time because they build themselves up so much. Other people are like, man, that guy's so cool or something, right? And so they try to be friends with them and they try to make fun of other people. They're not friendly to really anyone. Like even like people blowing it up could be like, hey, you freaking loser, and insult each other and stuff. That's a very clean insult, calling someone a loser. But we try to keep the show rated G.
I would be shocked if somebody called me a loser.
You're a loser.
Oh my gosh, I am shocked.
Quite literally. Shocked. So being polite's not that important.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, how are you going to make any friends? We've already been over this, how important friends are.
People, as I just said, like bullies and stuff in school weren't polite to anyone, and they would make friends because they were like, man, that guy is so cool, he's a rebel, he doesn't like anyone, and he makes fun of the teacher, and
the only people that like to bully are, kind of D-bags.
They're also welcome to listen to this podcast, and we love them. It doesn't matter if they're considered D-bags or not. The point is, they still have friends.
Look, you'll catch more flies with honey, though.
As opposed to
vinegar
or salt. I think salt.
I think it's vinegar is what the.
Oh, is that an actual saying?
Yeah.
I think salt is more relevant nowadays because people are like, "Oh, that guy's salty." It's a like common phrase to say someone's salty.
No, I'm always saying people are vinegary. Like, yeah,
are you now?
What a stupid vinaigrette.
Vinaigrette. I'm gonna name my daughter that, vinaigrette.
Hey, that actually does sound like a old English name, like an old British name.
But
Vinaigrette. Vinaigrette, it's time to come inside. It's gonna be getting dark soon. Vinaigrette.
I'll name my son Salt. That sounds like an old guy's name too, Salt. It's like Saul almost, but it's like
Salt. No, that's Angelina Jolie's name in that movie Salt.
Oh yeah, I never saw that movie, but I remember it coming out. What else is new?
Movie-wise?
No, I mean
Fast and Furious 7.
But, so I don't think you could, the argument is not whether they're D-bags or not. The argument is that they still get friends even by not being polite. They still get
but
their
you'll catch more flies with honey, though.
Sure, and so you could do that, but you could go the other route. You could be, you could decide that you prefer to be a jerk.
Sure, if you want to minimize your chances of getting friends, then yeah, be a jerk.
Well, I think it's less about them.
Attract jerky friends.
Yeah. And maybe those are the friends that they like, the ones that are jerks.
Go for it.
I mean, if someone's a jerk, obviously they either hate themselves for being a jerk, or they love themselves how they act because they're like, yeah, I'm a jerk.
And they need to get punched in the face.
Let's not take things that far. I think they're alright people. But they're not alright people.
Why don't you join them then?
I'm just trying to keep everyone happy on the podcast, alright? I'm doing the exact...
No,
I am the antithesis of being a jerk
Anybody
right now.
who's a jerk doesn't think they are.
That's true.
I'm
probably a jerk. And let's talk about that. Good segue. Is it considered rude or being a jerk to, okay, where am I going with this? I mean, I know where I'm going with this, but what's the word I'm looking for? Like, there's certain social things that some people could be considered rude that you don't consider rude. And what's up with that? Like, you go to someone's house and they, like, try to feed you or something, and you're like, oh, no, I just ate. And some people could be like, oh, that's rude for not eating my food or something. Or if someone's hosting small talk with you and you don't want to carry on the conversation, some people could be like, that guy's rude, right? What about that? How important is that?
I'm going to say it's an 8 out of 10.
Really?
Nah, let me scale that down. I'm going to say 6.5 out of 10.
So you think that people should go out of their way to make other people happy and not offend other people?
Yeah.
Why? What's the benefit in that?
There's just so many social benefits to having people like you.
I mean, what if you have enough? What if you have enough friends? Like, there's definitely a cap on friends. Like, you don't need the whole world to love you.
No, but that would help you out a lot.
No, there's a cap where there's diminishing returns on how many you have eventually. Like after a certain point, there's diminishing returns.
How so?
Like okay, let's
on
say
how many people like you?
let's say you have like 150 friends, right? I can't even think of 150 people.
No,
off the top of my
I'm
head,
not
right?
talking about friends. I'm just talking about people liking you.
Okay, let's say you have 150 people who
like
you.
I go to work,
Mm-hmm.
and some of those people like me.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe some of them don't. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I go out of my way to be nice to people at work because it'll make my work experience better. I'm not friends with them. I don't go out to movies with any of them or interact with them outside of work. But at work, I'm very polite. They're not my friends, necessarily. I mean,
Right.
I guess I would probably call them my friends.
Right.
But I don't actually interact with them outside of work. They're not my friends, but they like me.
Okay,
and that helps me out.
what would happen if one of them was like a total d-bag to you, and just started like hating you and stuff? Would you still go out of your way to be polite to them, or just like maybe just like ignore them or something?
If I knew they didn't like me,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't know why,
Mm-hmm.
nah, I wouldn't go out of my way.
Okay, so if you just ignore them or something, then
I would just be the normal nice.
alright, then some people might consider that the normal nice. So you would still be nice to them,
Yeah.
even if they were total jerks to you.
Yes.
Okay, well that's very Christian of you.
I mean, how does it benefit me to not be nice to them? It doesn't.
I mean, how does it benefit you to be nice to them if they already don't like you?
Well, because then they won't have any more reason to, on top of whatever reason they already do.
So your goal is to get as many people to like you as possible.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a very good goal.
No, not as many as possible. Just the people. If you have some sort of forced interaction with people,
Mm-hmm.
it is to your benefit to have those people like you.
What if they're just like not that relevant to you?
Well then, yeah, why would you care?
That's what I'm saying. Those people at your work are not that relevant to you except for the fact that you work with them every day. But
Yeah, that makes them relevant. I have to see them every time I go to work.
Okay, but what if it's someone you see like once a week or something? But only for a short period of time, like maybe an hour or two once a week.
Am I going to see them for an hour or two a week indefinitely?
Yes, but
Then that's important.
it's not you and them alone. It's like a some kind of group gathering.
But I'm going to see them indefinitely?
For the foreseeable future.
That's important.
It's important.
Yes.
Why? I mean, what would be the downside if you both just like never spoke a word to each other? What's the downside there?
There's no downside to that.
Okay, so why would you even bother being nice to them? If you never spoke a word to them, some people could consider that rude, but I mean,
Look, if you're going to opt into some sort of interaction with somebody,
mm-hmm.
it's just to your benefit to have them like you. For obvious reasons.
I mean,
It'll make your encounters more enjoyable.
Is it worth the effort though?
Well, if you're already going to be forced to be seen them, then yeah, it's worth the effort to just be nice. It's the same amount of energy being nice and being mean.
Well, what I'm saying is you're not going to be mean. You would just ignore them. They would be like irrelevant to you. And some people might consider that mean, but that's the problem. That's where the question arises.
Okay, well, yeah, if there's some ambiguous act or non-act that's gonna may be considered me. I don't know. It just depends on that person. I mean, how would you know if they're?
Okay, let me give you a scenario here. All right, you ready for this?
Sure.
Okay, you're having let's say a conversation with someone at work, right?
Okay.
Just, like, not an important conversation, just talking about...
Water cooler talk.
Or, like, a customer came in or something. You're talking about how ridiculous the customer was or something, right?
Okay.
He was wearing, like, clown pants and, like, a green afro or something, right?
Okay.
So, you're just, talking a little bit, maybe said, like, 5, 10 things each, and then all of a sudden, you say something, maybe trying to be witty, or maybe just carrying on the conversation. You say something, and the other person just doesn't respond and keeps on working. And just doesn't respond. Just ends the conversation.
Okay.
How would you feel about that?
Be like, man, that was weird. I wonder why they left.
I mean, they didn't... Let's say you're working in a vicinity. Like, they didn't leave. They didn't walk away. They just, they just stopped talking.
What were they saying to me?
You guys were talking about the clown.
Was I talking to that person directly?
Yes, it was you and that person having a conversation.
And then they just walk away?
And you say something... And the person just doesn't respond. They don't walk away, they just don't respond. You're not looking at the person necessarily. You're just in the vicinity working.
And I'm talking to them now?
Yeah, you could be like looking at your computer or something, or...
But I'm telling them something while working?
Yeah, you're both talking and both working. And the conversation just, the other person just doesn't reply back.
I would just think, man, they must have something to do, because that was a hilarious clown that I saw.
Would you think negatively of them for that?
No, I could probably just look at them and see what they went to do and be like, oh yeah.
They didn't necessarily go to do anything. They just keep doing the exact same thing they were doing. Let's say you're both on computers.
But they were just listening to me.
No, you guys were having a back and forth conversation.
But they walked away while I was talking. So they were listening to me. You're saying I'm doing something and telling a story, and they're listening to me and doing something as well? Is that what you're telling me? Okay, so there's two computers next to each other. We're both on one computer. They're doing something on their computer, I'm doing something on mine. They're in the same proximity. I'm telling a story about a clown, and then they don't respond. They just keep typing away on their computer.
Yes, that's exactly. There you go.
What do I think about that?
Yes.
In that situation.
Why is that so hard to figure out?
I'm just trying to get the context because I wasn't understanding. Well, then I would just think, oh man, turns out they must have tuned out and just started paying attention to whatever they were working on.
And you wouldn't think that they're rude or anything? Would you
if they don't respond at all and they just keep doing what they're doing, then I'll assume that they didn't actually hear me or they weren't paying attention.
Okay, you're in a quiet place, so they definitely heard you.
Okay, then they weren't paying attention.
Okay.
Obviously. Otherwise, they probably would have responded.
Okay, so next time...
So just be like, oh, I'll just tell them this story later.
But then you suffer the issue of, you tell it to him again, he's like, I know, I heard you earlier.
Oh. And be like, you don't think that's funny? And then he'd probably say like, nah. And be like, oh, man. Humor is so important in making friends.
Oh. And you wouldn't be friends and you wouldn't have a positive social relationship with them.
Well, no, because, I mean, like, nobody has the exact same taste in humor.
Right.
So, like, you have something... There's certain things that you're going to have that somebody else will find funny.
Mm-hmm.
There's an overlap you have an overlap with everybody.
Okay.
On the planet.
Okay, but in the original scenario, before you changed it,
I thought that was you.
In the original scenario, you guys were talking back and forth, and then you say something, adding to it, and you're like, yeah, what was up with those rainbow socks? And the other person just doesn't reply.
Then I'd be like, oh man, but he's on his computer though, right?
Yeah, you're both on your computer.
Then I would just be like, oh man, must have tuned out, I'll get him next time.
Okay, next time, another person comes into the store, this time not a clown, this time person's gothic, wearing all black, big black boots, black fingernails.
Nose piercing.
Very pale, whatever.
Eyebrow piercing?
Whatever, all the piercings everywhere. And
neck piercing.
Yes, everywhere. And so he comes in, you do your thing.
Back piercing?
And then you guys aren't having a conversation. Do you bring up the goth guy this time?
Well, yeah, if it's worth bringing up, then yeah.
Okay. Now, what if it was
Maybe
scenario
if he's got
one?
a back piercing.
Now, what if it was scenario one where the guy didn't reply to you at all during the clown thing? The guy didn't reply to you at all during the clown thing. Do you bring up the goth guy this time?
If I think it's worth it, yeah.
Even if you know he just won't respond? You won't get a positive social relationship out of that?
Because I don't know if he didn't hear me or if he just didn't think it was funny or what.
Yeah.
Either way, I got an entirely new situation now.
Very similar situation.
He could. This is a different circumstance. So he has the potential to. If he didn't like the first story, then he may like this one. Or
well, it's not a story. You guys both saw the same guy, and you're just like, man, what was up with that guy?
Oh, okay. That happens a lot, actually. Okay.
Yeah.
Then yeah, sure. Why not?
So you bring it up to him again, even if he didn't reply the first time?
Yeah, he may not have heard me the first time.
During the clown scenario?
Yeah.
Okay.
You never know.
So you're just going out. You are very extroverted and just going out of your way all the time to have a positive relationship.
It's not really going out of my way.
It's going out of your way.
If you see something that looks funny, you just want to point it out to somebody.
I mean, if you point it out to him and he doesn't reply, wouldn't you feel a little awkward? Like, man, this guy didn't laugh, didn't respond to me at all. Right?
I'd be like, man, what a weirdo.
Right?
Yeah, that's what I was
So you are going out of your way.
I guess, yeah.
So you would go out of your way to have positive relationships in order to benefit yourself.
Yes, I've established that.
So,
look, if you don't want to, you don't have to, but it could really help you out if people like you.
Would you say that the purpose of having friends is for mutual benefit? And not necessarily for social entertainment?
Yes, absolutely.
And so, just like this episode of Friends, would you say that it could be seen as being a little bit selfish to be friends with someone or to be nice to everyone because you want the benefit?
Yeah, totally.
Okay, cool. Glad we got that out of the bag.
It's totally self-serving.
It's totally self-serving to have friends. Nailed it.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously it's mutually beneficial some of the time, but other times it's not necessarily.
Right, yeah.
Like those friends who have a particularly good skill and then you ask them to do that thing for you all the time or something.
Or they have like a truck.
Yeah. See, the truck's relevant to you because you have a truck, right? I bet you do that for other people, don't you?
Occasionally, yeah.
Okay. And like me, it's like computer problems and stuff. People are like, hey, I got this problem. And I'm like, alright, cool.
Oh yeah, I got this computer problem.
You got some parts and you don't know how to put them together?
Yeah, can you help me out?
Yeah, I'll help you out.
Alright, thanks.
Alright, so having friends is beneficial for yourself, but not necessarily necessary for entertainment. Friends are not needed for entertainment. It's just mutually beneficial or just beneficial for yourself. If you don't ever want to talk to the person, you just want to get benefit out of them. That's selfish, but it's beneficial to you, so maybe you should put forth the effort. And so how important is social interaction?
Very.
Probably like a 7 out of 10. 7.5 out of 10. 7 out of 10.
I'll go 7 out of 10, yeah.
I'll go 7 out of 10, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright,
seems legit. Good episode.
We settled it.
Alright.
Yeah. There you go, everybody. Follow us on the Facebooks.
Facebook.com/TCOpodcast, Twitch.tv/NuriOnLindale. I've actually been streaming a lot lately.
JosiahSandu.youtube.com.
That's not it.
/Josiah Sandu.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Anything else? TCOpodcast@gmail.com.
That's our email, yeah.
Like us, subscribe, take a comment, suggest videos if you want to be on our thing. BYOT, bring your own topic, and you can be on an episode of TCO.
How?
They just bring their own topic. And they'll come to your house and you'll hate that. Obviously, it has to be someone we know. It can't just be some rando.
Oh, you're talking about somebody we know.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. Can't just be someone. It's only people we know that watch the show anyways. And by only people we know, I mean people I know. Because you don't advertise this anywhere, and I'm the only one that advertises the show.
Yeah, this is like my ugly stepchild.
Even though your channel's not doing anything anymore.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, rarely uploads anything.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I do.
I too rarely upload things.
Yeah.
All the time.
You do rarely upload things, yeah.
All the time I rarely upload stuff.
Exactly. So, can we talk about this bass that I'm looking at now?
Sure.
Okay.
Feel free to turn this off now.
Yeah, you can turn this off now. Spectre Core.
That's the new James Bond movie.
Spectre Core.
No, it's just called Spectre.
Okay, well the brand is Spectre. You know Spectres, I'm sure. I'm sure you've heard Spectres before.
Yeah, experimental guitar research.
That's Schecter.
Ah!
Yeah.
Classic mix-up.
I'm talking about Spectre, the less heard of one, but...
Never heard of them.
Really? I'm sure you've seen them. Like, if I show you a picture of a Spectre, you'll be like, yeah, I've totally seen those before. But, anyway, so it's a Spectre Core 5-string fretless, right?
Spectre Core 5-string fretless.
See these, like, wonky shapes? I'm sure you've seen those wonky shapes before.
That looks like a Warwick right there. As does that one.
This one, no, this one has a weird shape.
What are you talking about? This is just a standard shape.
No, dude. Like, look at that. Look at that weird shape. It's all, like, elongated and stuff.
Okay,
That's the weird, that's
that
like
one.
that's the signature Spectre shape.
Okay, it's just slightly elongated. Okay.
Yeah. Anyways.
Up close it doesn't look that different.
I know, up close it doesn't. But it is. They're weird looking. See, they're all, like, elongated and weird looking. Plus, I think they might actually all be 35 inches, or the majority of them. The Spectre Core Fretless 5 is 35 inches. And I found one on the internet for $500. What do you think about that?
Pretty good. Can we talk Better Call Saul spoilers?
Hang on. We gotta figure out the Spectre Core. Here's the deal, though. Are you ready for this?
Ready?
It's passive.
Oh, never go back, huh?
I have a passive Warwick.
It's pretty sweet. It's 5 strings.
Yeah, but I gotta admit, I kind of regret not getting an active Warwick.
Just get some active pickups in there.
It's a little more complicated than that.
And then cut out the holes for the electrical
It's
stuff.
it's more complicated than it seems. But yeah.
So, what are you gonna do? Get the Spectre or get the Schecter?
I might. There are no Schecters. I don't like Schecter. I might get the Spectre Core 5 because, first of all, fretless basses, just good ones, are so hard to find. I've been looking for years to find a good one, and I know Spectre's a good brand. A Spectre Core new is like $950 to $1,000.
So they're solid, huh?
And
They must be pretty good.
They are very good. I've actually heard nothing but good things about the Spectre Core. I tried to find bad reviews and couldn't. So
What about a Fender American Jazz Standard?
I've played Fender fretlesses and did not like them.
What about an acoustic bass? Would you be opposed to an acoustic bass?
I've played acoustic basses. Acoustic basses, everyone has a negative opinion about them.
Except for me.
Well, have you ever played one?
Yeah.
And you didn't like it, right?
At Guitar Center.
You know the problem with them, though, right?
They don't have a lot of volume?
Yeah. You can't actually play an acoustic bass with like an acoustic guitarist. You have to plug them in to get any volume.
Well, you don't.
They're very quiet. You can play with a pick like aggressively and try to make it work, but
That's true. They're very quiet. It's almost like the whole isn't the acoustic body isn't doing anything.
There's a reason that like upright basses are as big as they are. It's because the low frequencies need a big body to support it, and that's the problem with an acoustic bass.
Even those are quiet. Fairly quiet.
No, I think they're pretty loud.
No, I've played one. They're pretty quiet.
Did you play it with the bow?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, with the bow, that's better.
Was it a full size?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I don't know, they're pretty loud, I think.
I played that for about half a semester.
Did you really?
In 10th grade, yep.
This is the Spectre Core 5, by the way. Oh, it's semi-hollow, too.
Ooh, cool.
Yeah.
Got the old F cut out, eh?
It has the old F hole.
That's actually what they're called.
I know. That's the official term. People are laughing, but that's the official term. It's also only got one pickup, which is kind of lame, but the one I'd be getting is green.
Yeah, that is weird. It's green, yeah.
Green, I know. It's a weird green, too.
Oh, and with that, does it have that? Does like the cheetah design, sort of, with the...
I'll just pull up the one I'm looking at, actually. But, yeah, acoustic basses are not very good. I don't remember how to spell this. Wait, did you watch Better Call Saul? The finale aired tonight, didn't it?
It's a 10-episode season. Are we on episode 10?
Yeah.
Oh, darn! No. Well, no, obviously not. I've been here.
So you haven't seen it?
No, have you?
No, that's the one I'm looking at.
Oh, it looks more yellow.
No, it's definitely green, dude. See that?
Okay, it looks pretty green
flash.
right there.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks like a turquoise.
No, that's just because the flash.
What does it look like?
They can actually totally see that. I'm surprised they can see that.
It looks pretty green on there.
That's the one I'm looking at, guys. Fretless. Spectre Core 5, fretless.
But anyway, let's talk Better Call Saul. What did you think of last week's episode? It's pretty great, huh?
It was pretty great.
Okay, let's talk about the big reveal.
Okay.
Wow, it seems so obvious now.
It was so obvious back then, too, that he didn't...
No, there's no way. I do not believe that you thought that the whole time.
I know you don't believe that, and let me...
You never mentioned it.
Let me preface this.
You're like, oh, man, Saul's brother seems really...
Let me preface this.
Really pretentious about his law.
Let me preface this. I did not think it thoroughly throughout the whole time, but there is the scene where they show him where he first completes his test and stuff. It shows
on the bar,
and you can tell that his brother is not happy about it and doesn't want him to be a lawyer. And I thought about it at the time, but I haven't continually thought about it since. No.
You're saying you actually had the thought
that he didn't want him to be a lawyer? Yes. They clearly showed that he was unhappy about it.
Well, yeah. In retrospect, you see that he was unhappy that he got a degree.
No, maybe you're just bad at watching TV, Josiah. I think everyone saw that.
He even said, why didn't you come to me for help? I could have helped you.
Yeah, but you could see on his face that he wasn't happy about it.
And he said that was the third time he took the bar.
Uh-huh.
And he tells, what's his brother name, Mike?
It's not Mike, that's for sure. That's the old guy. I don't know, just...
Saul's brother.
Yeah.
I think his name is Mike.
It's not Mike. No, there's no way it's Mike.
Mike Ehrmantraut and Mike...
McGill?
McGill.
No, it's not.
Steven.
No.
Wait, it's HHM, right?
Hamlin McGill, though. That's the last name.
Oh. But anyway, yeah, going back and watching that scene, you're like, oh my gosh, yeah, he is super...
Chuck.
He was Charlie.
Chuck. But yeah,
Charles.
Charlie. Yeah. Saul calls him Chuck.
Yeah, he was very apprehensive about it. But see, he tells him, he's like, when Saul tells him this is the third time I took me 3 tries or whatever, he was like, why didn't you tell me? I could have helped you out or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, oh, independence and,
I know.
I'm basically...
And then you see the scene where he goes into the office.
I'm basically Walter White.
The Hamlin goes into the office and, yeah. Which was a weird scene. I wonder...
Yeah, they didn't say what he says.
I was wondering what that scene, if they originally... I was wondering if they originally had the dialogue there and then just decided to cut that, short little bit. Because it was weird when he, you hear, the last sentence he says or something, they kept it silent, as if we're not supposed to know, even though we can clearly tell what he's saying. And then, when he walks out, opens the door and walks out, he's like, maybe next time, Jimmy, or something like that.
Right.
Right? So, I was wondering, why did they mute that part? I have no idea.
Here's what I'm thinking.
Just from, a video editing perspective, I have no idea why that part was muted.
We get a flashback of that scene later.
And he says something
with
different.
The audio.
Uh-huh.
And you hear what that conversation was said.
I guess. That's
But
probably...
see, obviously, it's the same thing. It's the same thing happened twice.
Right.
You know, they're just mirroring the two scenes.
Right.
And they felt like, well, we're not. Maybe it was just redundant, and they were like, well, we don't want to just repeat the same thing again in the same episode, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And so maybe they're like, okay, we'll just mute the audio since you already know what's going to happen here, because he obviously gets his own practice. But see, I didn't feel like it was that big of a letdown, because I mean, honestly, you think you're going to get a job at your brother's firm that's like a professional, huge law firm.
Yeah.
And you haven't, and you've never practiced law before.
Yeah.
Like it seems like
everyone wanted him to, though. What's the point? I think
it seems like a reasonable expectation.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? To be like, you know, that would be really cool if my brother could get me on here, but this is a serious law firm, and I've never done any lawyering before. So I mean, yeah, it's a letdown, but it seems like it should be an expected letdown. But then the second time, that's got to sting. Because now, like, you are a lawyer, you put in a lot of this ground level work, and you found this huge case, you know, and it's like super serious, and then you get shut down again. Well, then I totally understand his reaction to that.
It's fine though. He's gonna take the money and start up Saul Goodman.
I don't know, man.
I'm pretty confident that's what's gonna happen.
And see, it's obvious that the slick blonde haired dude didn't tell him, obviously, that his brother doesn't want him to be a lawyer there.
Well, yeah.
You know, he just had him cover for him.
That whole episode was coming up to the big reveal.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, I for a while during the episode, with the phone thing, I was like,
I wanted.
Who did he call? I was thinking the whole time. I was like, I'm gonna have to bring this up to Josiah. Who did Chuck call? And then they revealed it in the last 2 minutes. What happened?
Do you see him getting the phone?
Yes, you do.
Oh yeah, that's right, you do. Yeah, and I was thinking does he secretly? Is he knowingly faking this thing? Because he's about to call some.
Yeah,
why would he get that phone?
Well,
and then he seemed all coy about it.
Like,
oh yeah, no big deal.
See, I was thinking,
I'll take a phone call.
Like the phone thing, they make you think from the very beginning, okay, he just doesn't want to wait until the morning to call them, so he's going to call them now and tell them he has a case, right? Because they were talking about, okay, we're going to call HHM and tell them we have a case, and so then he goes out to the mailbox and he's like, oh, I just can't wait because I'm, all this lawyering's making me not even think about the electricity or whatever. And so I was like, okay, so he just can't wait to call
yeah, did he go to the car before that scene?
No.
Yeah, it was, because they were still working on... He was like, hey, I need this paper.
Oh, yeah, that was the episode before.
And he just walks outside.
Yeah, because he's so focused on other things that it's the same thing with OCD. You don't think about... If you're actually focused on something or out with friends or something, sometimes you won't actually focus on the crappy OCD stuff. And so... but when he called HHM... That was really cute because they were like, okay, he's just making it seem like they wants to set up the case. And then you find out that freaking Saul, the whole episode's doesn't know that he called them. And it's like, wait a second. Why doesn't Saul know that Chuck called him? I was thinking the whole episode, I was like, man, I couldn't stop focusing on that. I was like, man, who did he call? The whole time I was like, I gotta bring this up to Josiah. I have no idea. And then the last 2 minutes, they were I was like, oh, dang.
Yeah, and
that was really good.
I don't know what Chuck was thinking, because even cell phones back then, they had call logs on them, right?
He deleted the call log, remember?
Oh, did he say that?
Yeah, I was thinking about that too, and then Saul had said, I called the phone company, because his phone had died, and he said he had to call the phone company, and then he saw that there was a missed call. Can we talk about Walter White 2.0 though?
Yeah, this show is essentially Breaking Bad now.
I mean, no, we're talking about the guy that Mike was working with, right?
Oh, that guy?
That guy was clearly alluding to be Walter White. He was a nerdy white guy wearing the same stuff Walter White wears, except his shirt was a little different because Walter White normally wears full button-ups. That guy was clearly, he's not a main character, and I doubt we'll even see him again. We might see him once or twice, but he was definitely alluding to being Walter White. I thought for sure. Yeah, He was like a nerdy guy, probably a teacher or something.
Oh,
and he was selling drugs for the first time, and it was
had
cool.
Prescription stuff in the package.
Okay, yeah, he might have been like a pharmacist or something.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
But he was just some nerdy guy, and Mike was, and I thought it was so cute that Mike was like helping him out and stuff, and I was like, Mike did the same stuff with Walt, basically.
Well, no, that was more like Jesse's job at the beginning.
That's true, but later when Mike actually became a real person.
Yeah, like part of main character on the show.
He became a main character season 3, right?
It was. I mean,
he first appeared at the end of season 2.
Yeah, when they introduced Gus.
When Jane died. We talked about this.
That's
when Jane died, Saul sent Mike to do the cleanup. It was Mike. That's the first time we see Mike.
Oh, okay.
To make sure everything was fine
right.
before they called the cops and tell them what happened. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Anyways, I thought they were alluding to Walter White there. I thought that was cute. Anyways, enough Better Call Saul spoilers.
Hey, Kristen Ritter is getting her own show on Netflix.
She has her own show.
What's it called?
The Bee on Room 23 or something?
Is that show still going?
I don't know.
Well, she's getting her own show on Netflix, a Netflix original series.
Is it going to be a drama or a comedy?
It's going to be an action drama. She's actually playing a Marvel character.
Really?
Yeah. You know the Daredevil series comes out this Friday?
Right.
Yeah.
And who is she? What is she doing?
She is playing Jessica Jones.
Who's that?
She's like a street level superhero in Hell's Kitchen where Daredevil runs around. What they're doing is like...
And she's getting her own show?
Yeah, what they're doing is like, this year we get Daredevil. Next year we get Luke Cage and Iron Fist.
Okay.
Which are another superhero duo in New York. Then the next year you get Kristen Ritter's show, Jessica Jones.
Okay.
And then the 4th season will be a team up. And they're all in this superhero group called the Defenders. They're sort of like a street level Avengers, but they're only guard like New York.
Does she have any powers? I'm looking it up. AKA Jessica Jones is what it's called.
Yeah, I think she has super strength. I don't know if she'll have it in this show. Because her and Luke Cage eventually get married and stuff.
They're set to premiere in 2015.
Her show?
Yeah.
Oh, they're all coming out this year?
All episodes are set to premiere in 2015.
Oh, cool. That's awesome.
I go to episodes tab and it just says S.J. Clarkson will direct an episode. That's the only thing it says.
That's weird.
I was hoping they would get like titles and release date or something so we get the date.
Well, they all come out on the same day. Because Netflix releases theirs in like a big batch. But anyway, how do you think the season Better Call Saul is going to end?
I told you already. I think he's going to take the deal. He's going to go and, out of spite, make his own Better Call Saul. And that's make his Saul Goodman self. And that's what we're going to get for the rest of the series.
You know what I want him to do? I want him to go back into Chuck's house and like put plug in a bunch of like electrical stuff while he's sleeping. And then so he wakes up and there's like toasters and microwaves and like blenders and just like all kinds of stuff just on. You know?
A blender on.
No, I mean just plugged in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then he wakes up and then he's like, oh no, I need to be in pain. Yeah. That'd be hilarious. Because then he'd realize, wait a minute, I was just asleep.
But he
already
knows it's just a mental thing. I think he's already accepted that fact. He's already getting over it. Because when he was outside and stuff, I think he hasn't said it, but he's getting over it. I think he's accepted it, and he
I don't think he wants to. I don't think. Remember, whenever he gets caught outside, he's like,
yeah.
When
he
realizes,
doesn't want to, but he is getting over it, and he knows it.
And then he's like, oh, I need to. Remember, they made him turn off all the power in
Yes, I know.
The thing, and he wore the suit.
Right.
Thing.
But he actually went outside and got in a car to get there. Remember?
Yeah.
I think I'm pretty sure he knows it's a mental thing. That's
If you knew it was a mental thing, then you wouldn't feel the psychosomatic effects of it.
That's wrong. You're wrong.
What?
As someone with OCD, I know it's a mental thing, but I still am forced to do the things that are obsessive and compulsive.
Okay. See this thing?
Uh-huh.
When I turn this on, you're gonna feel.
Uh-huh.
You're gonna feel real bad.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Okay, I just turned it on.
That's not the mental disorder, though.
It's coursing.
Man, you really don't get it.
It's coursing through your body.
Mm-hmm.
You feeling it? You feeling real in pain right now?
You really don't get it.
Are you feeling in pain right now, huh?
Uh-huh.
Huh? Huh?
This episode's done. See you later. Facebook.com/TCO.
See, he knows it's not real. That's why he can't feel it.
That's the end of the episode.
Myth busted.
Josiah, it's your episode next week.
It's gonna be all about either time travel or vigilantes or both.
Time travel vigilantes. Ooh.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be about either of those things.
Nah, it's not. All right, follow us on the Facebook and the YouTubes and
Take a comment.
Yep.
Wow, we finished this episode early, dude. We can go home and actually have a night.
All right. See you next time.
See ya. Oh wait, I gotta do my gun thing. Okay. That's gotta be in there.